Shall we begin?
Let's begin now.
Hi everybody, it's Doreen, and I'm back today with a quick, easy, simple masculine card. So today we will be using the Father's Day Cricut cartridge. And what does our card look like? This is the card we will be making today. So come on and join me, and I'm going to show you how to make this quick, simple, easy card. Okay everybody, so what we're going to do is bring up the supplies so we can get started on our masculine card. And this can be a birthday card or it can be a Father's Day card. Even though Father's Day is over, you can use the same similar card. Or it could be a retirement card, anything that you need to make a masculine card for. Now, so our card measures 9 inches by 6 inches, and I've taken it and scored it in half to make it a 4.5 by 6 inch card. Now this card stock, I'm not sure where or what the name of the card stock is, because I've had this card stock for several years, at least over 10 years. So I can't give you the name of it because I don't even remember where I bought it. So now our next layer that we will be laying down is this layer right here, and this measures 4.25 by 5.75. Now this cardstock is some of the Paper Studio cardstock, and it's called the Classic. And I picked this up at Hobby Lobby when they had their cardstock half off. So we're going to line this up, and we're just going to go ahead and take our ATG gun and get some tape on here, and then we're going to add this layer to our card. So I'm going to get my tape all the way around, and I'm just going to go across. So now we'll add this layer to our card. And I'm going to line this up, and then I'm just going to press down. So I want to get that off of there real quick. Okay, so now the next layer that I have, I'm just going to lay things out before we actually glue them down or to the card. So now I have this piece of cardstock, and what I've done is I've gone and taken my Cuttlebug folder, and this is the Happy Birthday folder because we are making a birthday card. And I've run that through, and it came out like this. So this piece of cardstock measures 3.75 by 4 inches. And what I've done is I've taken my Tim Holtz Distress ink, and this time I'm using the chipped sapphire. And I've gone and inked my edges, and then I've taken some brads, and these brads were actually silver. And what I did was I took one of my big market pens, and they look like this, and these I picked this up at Target, and I took a blue and colored in the brad to get the color that I wanted. So that's going to lay right there. And then my next piece of paper measures 1.25 by 4 inches, and that piece is going to lay right here. So now I've got everything down the way I want it, I'm going to go ahead and start taping things down. So for this, I'm just going to use my Tombow, and I'm going to go all the way around, and then we'll add this layer to the card. And I'm going to place it right here and press down. So this is going to be a real quick and simple one. I sometimes have a hard time coming up with masculine cards. So now the next piece, we're going to go and we're going to tape that down. And once again, we're going to use our Tombow. And I'm just going to line it up. And I want to try to get this even with this piece right here. And I'm going to press down. And I also took this layer too and ran it through the Happy Birthday Cuttlebug folder. So now we'll add our image that I got from the Cricut. So now this is our car, and this car is from the Father's Day cartridge, and I used this in my Father's Day series, I believe last year. Now the thing about this is this cartridge doesn't have a handbook, and also it's a lot of paper piecing. So if you don't like paper piecing, you might not like this cartridge. But what I've done is I've cut the car out 3 times, and I'll show you what I did on my Gypsy. So let's bring the Gypsy over, and I cut the car at 1.5 inches, and I didn't do anything with the aspect ratio or the real dial size. I left everything at the default. And the first image for the white, you are going to cut key number 29, and it looks like this. So I cut that at 1.5 inches, and then I went ahead and cut for the blue, which is right here. I cut key 39, which looks like this. And then what I did to get the black for the tires, I laid out key number 29, which is this one, and then I used the hide and contour feature, which is under your advanced tab, and I went through and hid everything but the outline of the car. So as I said before, if you're not into paper piecing, you might not want to use this cartridge. So I've already popped this up on some foam tape. So we're going to get our backing off the foam tape, and then we're going to add our car to the card. So, and I'm going to place my car right down here. So now the last thing that I'm going to add on my card is I've gone ahead and used my Spellbinders die, and this is the ribbon banners, which looks like this, and I've used this banner below here, or it might have been this one. It's this one right here. And I used some cream color cardstock, and I went ahead and inked all the way around using the Chip Sapphire again, and then I took my Memento Tuxedo Black ink and I stamped out Thinking of You. And this is a stamp set that I've had for a while. I'm not sure who this is by. So, and I popped this up in some foam dots. And then what I also did was I just kind of took this and bent it a little bit so I could make it look like ribbon. So I'm going to take my tape backing off. And then I'm going to add this to the top of the card and place it right there. So that's it for the front of our card. So now for my inside sentiment, what I've done is I've gone ahead and cut out a piece of cream color cardstock, and this measures, let's see, I believe it's the same size as this is 4 1/4 by 5 3/4. And then since I had some of this paper left over from making my envelope, and here's my envelope, and I use my Crafter's Companion to make the envelope, and I'll talk a little bit more about the envelope. But I just wanted you to see that I used some of the scrap paper from the envelope. And I laid it down and used, before they had dies, and we had the Cricut, and we had the silhouette, we had these Provo Craft scissors. I think I have bought, at the time, every one that they made. And I happened to be cleaning up my craft room, and I realized I haven't used these since I bought my Cricut several years ago. So I decided I wanted to use something on the edge of the paper, but I didn't want to use none of my Martha Stewart punches or my EK Success because they're kind of girly. So I pulled out these old scissors. So don't forget about these if you have them. So that's what I put on the edge of the card, and then in the inside here I've stamped out "There still is no cure for the common birthday." And this stamp is from a Fisker stamp set called Birthday Wishes, or I believe it's Birthday Wishes. And I stamped it using the chip sapphire. So what I'm going to do is just take this, and this was some scrap that I had, so I've got something on the back of here, but we're not going to be seeing that on the card when you open it. Of course, you can see it now as I'm putting the tape on there. And then we're going to just put this in the inside of our card. And I'm going to line this up and place that in. So that's it for our card. Now, for the envelope, I took my Martha Stewart punch, the cupcake punch, and punched out 2 cupcakes, and then I just took my oval circle punch and punched out an oval circle, and then took and stamped out Birthday Wishes. So that's it, everybody. This was a quick and simple birthday card for my brother-in-law. Thanks for watching, everybody. Bye.